Hello, everyone. How are you all feeling today? Today is the October Life. As you know, my name is Paulini Janes, but 2 times a month I give one first, the yellow file session that is entirely in English, like the one I'm doing today, is the first Tuesday of the month. And the last Tuesday of the month, I reward you with a live it's most likely in Portuguese related to business English. So today, the surprise topic, we're going to talk about a methodology that's really good, that is really important. We have so many methodologies, but it's very important out of the methodologies that we learn, like, and I think that's the message that I want to convey to all of you. We have so many options right now. We have excess of options, right? So when we have excess of options, we need to choose what would be better for us because otherwise we will create a lot of unnecessary noise. Nice to meet you. For the ones that don't know me, I used to be a former corporate professional, primarily in audit, and for the past 5 years and a half, I have been an entrepreneur and a CEO of my business English Word, where I do mentor, I do recorded classes, I do online classes, I do free lives to return something good to the society. And I have been around the block helping almost 700 Brazilian professionals. And one thing for sure, the main purpose of all this is to make sure that you explore your current capabilities of what you have. And when we learn a methodology, in the case of today, we're going to learn the RICE methodology. RICE methodology, it's for you to have more options to think when you first need to decide something. Also, when you need to be quiet. Or finally, when you will not be the decision maker, but people will be influenced by what you say. This is very important. Most of the time, when you deal with dominators, and take this note, and I give this tip only on my mentoring classes, when you are not the decision maker, but the boss gets influenced by your opinion, be careful of what you say because you can harm someone unnecessarily. So, today, the topic on hand that I chose for you because I choose things very carefully, it's a part of my yellow file that I call authority versus the formula of value, which is the RICE methodology. For the people that are on Instagram, please rush to my YouTube where you can see the slides. And I share once a month on the yellow file session some of my signature materials, which are the yellow files. And by the way, I'm all yellow today with my name brand, with my color, with my branding and everything. So the RICE methodology, it was created a while ago to for people to be more objective. For people to say, okay, we need to take a decision. Now what? Which type of decision we need to take? Which message we want to convey? Oh, what are the resources that we have? I mean, how much time we have on the short term, on the midterm, and the long term. And it's interesting because if you follow me on the social media, I'm so happy because last Friday, October 3rd, will be a milestone for me and for my company too. I was invited by Rede de Mulheres Empreendedoras, which is a big company, and the CEO is Ana Fontes. I was invited to be a mentor. Many mentors were invited, and one of them was me. And I was so happy. During the event, they split like in two houses, the house of mentors number one and the house of mentors number two. And there I was one of the mentors. And all I prayed to God before arriving there, it was not to memorize things, but to give words of wisdom for another entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Because when I give a lot of words of wisdom for another entrepreneur, I can guide people. And one of them people that came to me, one of the person that came to me that was like in need, I said talked about this, about the rice methodology, because the rice methodology, it's so important. It seems like it's a robotic thing, but it's not. So let's get started. So the rice methodology, it was created a while ago from Shane McBride, and it was a software, it was a messaging software company, and it was developed like to people that will have a roadmap. We have to have a roadmap, because at the end of the day, if you don't write a sequence of what you need, if you don't write something of the message you want to convey, or the needs you need to deliver on the short term, on the midterm, and on the long term, you you will be lost in translation. You know what I mean? So one of the things that this methodology, like I like two methodologies, the SWOT methodology, which is the FOFA methodology in Portuguese, and this RICE methodology. But the RICE methodology, I think it's more efficient when you need to take decisions, when you are the person who will influence the decision makers. And when you influence the decision makers to do something, you need to think first on the reach. That's why RICE, which stands for arroz in Portuguese, R stands for reach. I stands for impact. Everything has an impact. Me doing this live has a positive impact of someone that is in need. C, it's confidence. And believe me, raise your hand if I'm committed a mistake here. But confidence is not something that is the same as courage. You build the confidence, because you build the confidence by committing many mistakes. Confidence, it's something you build. And the effort, I really like to make the really direct link and direct hook to the energy that you put on things. Look at that. I wake up diligently every day at 6 a.m. Like, no excuse. It can be like on and off, like 6:15 ish or something like that, but not beyond that. So some days I'm not happy waking up at this time, but I make the effort because I am an early riser and I like to work early to deliver my things, and then I do my personal things later. Does it make sense? Does my train of thought have like an idea for you? So everything we want to reach, you need to reach. For example, you're selling plastic, right? There is a company Braskem that they sell plastic, right? You want to reach who? How many people you want to reach? What is the territory you want to reach? Where you want to be? And the other thing is the impact that you have on people, or your product and service may have on people. And come here, aproxima. I like to say this. Approach here. Who is my student? You guys know what I'm talking about. When you have an impact, look at this. You can have a negative impact and a positive impact with your product and with your service. Because at the end of the day, right now, we have a trend that came to stay, that is called the customer centric. And when the customer is on the center of everything, then the narrative changes, because people right now in the world we currently live are not looking forward for a great product, for a great service. In addition to that, the customer needs to have a customer journey. Don't you have the employee journey? So you have the customer journey for that, right? The impact that you have. And then again, the confidence that you build. People have confidence on me because I build it. I make sure I teach them business English. If someone comes to me and said, "Oh, I want to travel to Miami and I just go on vacation," they don't even start a course with me. And it's not being a snob, it's just like, I'm confident that what I want to deliver is more for business English. You know what I mean? So that's what it is when you build the confidence. But when you are building the confidence, you need to think on the impact that you have on people, because people will get influenced by people. I read a lot, and I read the Atomic Habits book. I read the version in Portuguese, but I really like it. Let me show you. It's called Atomic Habits. I bought the version in Portuguese, but they have the version in English from James Clear. And this book, it's really awesome. And it really talks about the habits of people. People, human beings, we, human species, they are broken down in three parts. The people that get influenced by other people, by the close ones, by your family, people you love, your friends, your husband, your fiance, you name it, your sister, your brother, people that have similar behaviors, usually related to family. And then the other one, you build the majority of people. For example, oh, people know that 60% of the openings right now in English require people who learn business English. So the trend is to follow that pattern of learning business English. Does it make sense? And the third part of people are the ones that follow what they think the powerful people have. Oh, one day I want to become a director because after I become a director, I will have a really good life. Or when I become a millionaire, once I become a billionaire, then I can have this chance. But then we need to change the narrative to think, what do we want to follow? The people close to us, the trends in the market that you have to follow, or the idea that you have of what you need. So this is what it's very, we need to be very careful with the impact and the effort. Because for me, people ask me when I present this yellow file that I love about the RISE methodology, it's an equation. So it's like reach times impact times confidence divided by effort. And then you have a coefficient. And the highest the coefficient, the better they can rank them. It's very commonly used in human resources, but you can use it anything. I always, when I have a task, so let's give it for instance, like mm, if you need to deliver the invoices input in the system in 2 hours, I would say I will put a lot of efforts in the first morning and the first early morning, first couple hours in the morning, because I know that in the morning I will be more productive. In the afternoon, when my energy is a little bit lower, I will do something extremely more manual that doesn't require too much of my brain energy because I know I will be really tired. And at night, in the afternoon, when I finish my working day, I will just take a glance of the news, of my emails, of what happened. So the effort that you make, it's very important to make a strong relationship if you want to make it low effort, medium effort, or high effort. And like everything in life, pretty, pretty please with sugar on top. Just make sure that when you put effort, you put short term, mid term, and long term. They are so important to everything. So the people who benefit from this methodology, they are in a much better place. And in here, I just took a snapshot for the people that are here on YouTube about the reach and the impact. Here we have examples. I'm not going to go through with the confidence and with the efforts because I try to squeeze in 15 to 20 minutes of life. I don't go beyond that. But there is no secret. When you want to reach, it's very related to figures, to amount. I want to reach 10,000 people. So I will do paid traffic. I want to reach people that are willing to buy my product, buy chocolate. So the reach, the quantity of people, the region, what do you want to reach? Okay, outcomes. Then the impact that you have. Don't forget, I always say, be careful with the words. Like, for instance, I am very honest. I prefer having a very direct communication. I do. But I watch my tongue. Why I watch my tongue? I watch my tongue because sometimes I'm way too direct. You know, I remember one time, it's even funny to say, well, the first time I came back from the United States to Brazil, the first time I came back from Texas to Rio de Janeiro for the same company, but different countries. So then I came back and I was totally a very Americanized, right? And then I was working with an analyst and I was entirely responsible for South American operations. So I told one of my 10 analysts that were under my wing, I told her like, well, it's your job. It's your job. It was her job. Then sure enough, she went to complain about me that I was too aggressive to HR. And then I said, well, it was her job. So I know that I have a very straightforward tone of voice. So that's why sometimes I watch my tongue and I'm constantly telling people it's not that I want to be a douchebag. It's not that I'm insisting on this, that I just mean well. Because everything you do can have a positive or negative impact. That's the reason why I always tell people if you are not in the position that you're not the decision maker. However, people that are the decision makers will be influenced, but what you say, be very careful with the words or with your conclusion you're going to take about something because you will have an impact of a life, of a person, of a family. That's it, guys. It's always good having you on board. If you want to follow me on all social medias, you know I am on Instagram, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and my website. And never forget, if you can make a positive impact on people, always think about on the effort, on the energy that you want to put something. Because at the end of the day, when you have good energy, the energy comes back. So what I want to say here is that if you put good energy, saying, I'm going to have a good day, you're going to have a good day, but it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. So I'll be seeing you on the next live that will be the last Tuesday of this month for the free live. That it's going to be like a free topic that you will choose, and I will speak in Portuguese. And I see you on the next yellow file question. Never forget to fulfill your dreams, not other people's dreams. On this note, I'm gonna end this live right now and I will be seeing you very soon. Hello, everyone, and bye now. Thank you.